Hello, my name is Justin Mkweo with yet another edition of Business Digest. Remember, this is a program where we bring you nothing but the best of business and economic news stories. And coming up in the next half an hour, September is a tourism month. Therefore, here at MBC Inside Business Digest, we have dedicated this week's edition of the program to giving you nothing but exciting insights of tourism in the country. Stick around for a full package of nothing but business and economic stories focusing on tourism. As we said earlier, September is the tourism month in Malawi, where the country commemorates different achievements in the sector. As the country celebrates the sector, players have spoken highly of the need for more investments in the sector. Managing Director of White Village in Blantyre, Hastings Bofom Nyirenda, told journalists that the tourism month has come at a right time when there is need for serious innovation in a bid to attract more tourists.
September brings in lots of opportunities for tourism operators to reflect on what it means to invest and what it means to get back a return. It's important that finally we are able to talk of the particular month that is dedicated to tourism, such that we should be able to reach out to as many as possible of those who will be our customers that can actually really do business with us. They ought to realize that there is a particular month by which we can actually remember that some people have put some investments and they need the return, and that's being recognized as such. So in tourism, we have our ups and downs. As you'll be aware, we do actually get affected by policy issues. We also get affected by what's actually happening around. You will actually notice, for example, in the past couple of years when we were actually hit by COVID, that actually meant no travel, therefore nothing really moves in a tourism sector. It's quite costly to invest in that, and then obviously one expects a return, which unfortunately, given the circumstances, might not be able to get through as quickly as you might actually expect in comparison to other kind of businesses. You notice largely in Chichewa, people say that Tiziambandife Malawi. Most people will be shunning places like ours, believing that perhaps we're actually meant for people from elsewhere. We believe that whatever we've done is actually best set to the locals. And whoever comes in, as far as perhaps other people coming from other jurisdictions are able to access our services, we've actually made our services to be very affordable for our locals. And to do that, we realize that there's actually a cost involved. And certainly, when you consider what it takes to invest in this kind of actual sector, it's quite a lot. So one ought be looking into different sectors in terms of perhaps what does it cost us really to put into this. The majority of the stuff that we are using here is actually imported stuff. Yes, we are actually aware of the available incentives that have actually been granted, but then that might not actually be enough for us to be able to attract the locals, because still more that becomes very expensive to get a return on.
Meanwhile, Nyirenda has challenged Malawians to take advantage of the tourism month to visit local tourism places as one way of promoting the sector, which has potential of creating more job opportunities for Malawians.
This is a very important month that would be calling upon everybody else to start to begin that it starts with us as Malawians. So welcome to the White Village. It's not the white as perhaps people might be thinking that it's expensive or is whatever. It's actually probably the cheapest place that you can actually get to. The white is only the predominance of the coloring that we've actually done inside in here. And then we actually urge people to turn on and actually get to know what is happening at the White Village. We're a very low-cost kind of place. By the way, the white paint is the cheapest paint that you can get on the market. Others don't exactly think like that. Okay, so the background is such that we actually thought of putting up a facility which should enable people to relax on, either as they get out of the Blantyre, so as a gateway out, and a gateway into Blantyre of some kind. So you really feel free to branch in, and branching as you come from the long way, or you branch in as you also go out of Blantyre as your last point of call. So the background has been the little investment day by day that you see, to the extent that what you see this place as it stands in today. There's been a lot of actually input running around in terms of get to what it is. It was a bush in the first place, those of you who actually have known it about, and then slowly we've really found ourselves getting this far.
Still highlighting matters of tourism, Managing Director of Amaryllis Hotel, Rami Wahid, has told Business Digest that investing in tourism sector is key in attaining socio-economic development of the country. He speaks to Simeon Shumba of Business Digest.
As usual, we came up with a calendar. We call it Amaryllis Tourism Calendar. The calendar is from the first day of the month until last day of the month. The calendar is full of activities. We believe that each and every property has to come up with their own activities to boost tourism, to encourage people to move around and experience the beautiful country of Malawi. So our tourism calendar was reached this time. We had some event has been already taken place. Local nights in our restaurant. We have also this week we are doing the symposium. We did the symposium last year under the theme of youth in tourism. This year we are discussing tourism strategy, marketing strategies, and promoting lesser known destination in Malawi. Areas in Malawi. Our guest of honor going to be the Minister, Honorable Vera Kamtukuli. She's coming to attend. That was a collaboration with between Amaryllis and MIT. We have also so many entertainments in terms of cultural dances and performance to show the rich culture of Malawi. Already one has been happening last week. Every week, every Saturday, we have different entertainments. We decided to focus this month on culture as well. We have also a family day coming that's going to happen at the museum on the date of 15th. We wanted people to go and see the museum and experience what the museum is offering and go back a little bit to the history. At this particular time, we are also in communication with the museum to make sure that the activities is there. So, in generally, we decided to play a very active part. So again, we don't believe that everything it should be done by the government. We have to play our part, and each and every hotel and institution here in the tourism has to play its part to make sure that the activities within the country is very rich, that encourage Malawians to move around.
Commenting on their session that most tourism attraction places are expensive, that most Malawians cannot afford to partake, Wahid shares a different view.
And I'm happy every time that people are asking me such question, because it is taking the opportunity here in that interview to say, no, it is not. Even during the months of tourism, if you not only Amaryllis, all the stakeholders, all the key players in Malawi, all the brands are always coming up with a very, very attractive kind of packages where if you have 100,000 kwacha you can come, if you have 200,000 kwacha you can come, if you have 80,000 kwacha you can come. So it's in that particular month we have really to focus and to attract everyone, all the packages. The good thing in Amaryllis, we have prices for everyone. So if you are in a low budget, we have accommodation and food and services that also meet your low budget. If you are in mid, we do have, even if you need something luxurious, we have. So in Amaryllis, and I believe, as I mentioned, other players, we in this month we are attracting everyone in Malawi. We need Malawians to move. We need Malawians to experience their own beautiful country, and I'm telling you that's a big solution for Malawi at this particular time, because we're still focusing on boosting the international tourism to Malawi. So without the domestic part of tourism. We want to make it. We in this year, with the assistance of the Minister of Tourism and Honorable Vera, we done a very nice video about Malawi and domestic tourism. Malawi. We tell the people, please move around, experience the culture from the north to south. So I'm encouraging Malawians to contact us, not only Amaryllis, everywhere in tourism. They have packages for you, especially during the months of tourism. So there is nothing. Let's remove the psychological barrier between Malawians and us as always expensive. We are not expensive. We have food for every budget and for everyone.
Knowledge gap in the tourism industry is said to be impacting negatively on the development of tourism in the country. Head of Travel and Tourism Management at Malawi Institute of Tourism, MIT, Dennis Magodi, made these remarks in Blantyre during the Tourism Symposium. The event, which was attended by many players in the tourism industry, including Minister of Tourism, Vera Kamtukule, was themed Promoting Lesser-Known Destinations. Commenting on the development, one of the organizers of the event, Amaryllis Hotel manager Rame Wahid, says the private sector should join hands with government to promote tourism in the country.
Going back to the topic, looking at the lesser-known destination and the collaboration that we have seen here, people coming together, I hope that Malawi is going to change. Looking at what we had last year, like this time around, I have seen that many people have showed up today. More organization came, and we have seen so many people participating actively, knowing that this is for Malawians, for us.
Maybe what gaps are there in terms of tourism in Malawi? Maybe how can we rectify those gaps?
There is what we call knowledge sharing. There's a problem with knowledge. I'll give an example. We were in Rompi some few months ago, where we met some tour guides. We were conducting some trainings. Unfortunately, at one tourist place, you find that there are different stories that are being told. That is the problem. If at all we are to come together and work and harmonize all these stories and we talk of one thing, surely we are going to have beautiful Malawi.
You are watching Business Digest with me, Justin Mkweo, here on MBC TV. And remember, we are bringing you nothing but tourism in this edition. Stick around. Welcome back, and moving on with our special coverage on the Tourism Month. Malawi Sun Hotel has organized a special tourism day where several activities have been lined up as part of celebrating the month. Tina Msuku is Malawi Sun Hotel Sales and Marketing Officer.
We are celebrating so many things here at Malawi Sun Hotel. Malawi Sun Hotel being a home out of the hotels here in Malawi, especially in Blantyre. So we have created a number of activities for our guests. We have got poems, traditional dances, eating competition, and we have a special menu on that day so that people can have different kind of choices to taste a different kind of food on that day. Being in Malawi Sun, this is a warm heart of the hotels here in Malawi Sun. So on this day, we have special things, the way we can treat our guests, and we want them to feel welcome whenever they're here. They shouldn't differentiate from their homes, and here they shouldn't differentiate. So they should come in large numbers. They should feel free and do whatever they can do on this day.
Now, a mindset change specialist and trainer, Patrick Ajitabwino, speaks highly of the Tourism Month.
Really, it is essential. I have to appreciate that the Ministry of Tourism is trying all its level best. But then, alone, it cannot actually do it. Because tourism has got a multi-dimensional approach. Or for instance, flying to Malawi is a little bit expensive. It is slightly cheaper to fly from UK to South Africa, Johannesburg, than from Johannesburg to Malawi. There are quite a number of issues. These are what border on regional connectivity and regional integration. For instance, if you have to fly even from Malawi to Mozambique, Mozambique is just a border from here, Blantyre, to the border of Mozambique. It's about probably less than 200 kilometers. But why is it that you still have to go through Johannesburg, 850 kilometers up in the air, and then there you connect again, another plane, probably you've spent a night, and then you go to Maputo, and then you go to Beira. So the problem with tourism in Africa and to countries like Malawi is that we are disadvantaged because of improper regional connectivity. If, for instance, you are in Harare, let's say, for instance, a tourist has flown all the way from UK, Singapore, wherever, and has enjoyed the time in Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. That person cannot fly direct to Malawi. You see, what will happen is often it has to be either through Lusaka, then you come to Harare, and then Harare, then you come to Malawi. So you look at that length, it becomes a little bit much more costly. It is essential probably that maybe SADC and COMESA looks into that and say, how can we make it possible that our people can fly direct from here to Maputo? How can we make it possible that our people should fly direct from here straight all the way to Harare? Otherwise, we'll be disadvantaged. So in that regard, you find that in terms of tourism, even the numbers that we attract are not that very high as compared to our regional place.
Ajda, who is also managing director of BYC International, also calls for huge investment in infrastructure like international conferences that can attract more visitors.
It's actually essential. If you look at so many, if you just Google Rwanda, there's so many trainings taking place in Rwanda, in Kigali. There's so many trainings taking place in South Africa, Johannesburg. There's so many trainings taking place in Cape Town. There's so many trainings even actually taking place in Victoria Falls. You even go to Zambia, there's so many places taking place at Avani, on also the other side of Victoria Falls, the Zambia side. The issue is, our friends have realized that hotels, in as much as they offer accommodation, they can also have a greater impact on the conferencing aspect. And that is what we are yet to do. Because how many international conferences do we host in Malawi? You'll find that it's very rare that we host international conferences. I can actually give you an example. In Africa, I remember very vividly, at one point in time, they hosted the World CIMA conference, CIMA conference in Cape Town. It was over 1,500 people from different countries throughout the world. Now you can imagine, what if we also decide to start hosting these regional conferences in Malawi? But firstly, we really have to be competitive enough. So the moment we actually work on the conferencing facility, and then we keep on offering a package to those outside this country, we can make it much more better. Our airlines would improve. The hotel industries in terms of accommodation would also actually improve. We'll have more on B&Bs. The taxis will also actually make much more money. So it's actually a combination of so many things. Just like football, let us appreciate. We can actually see that other countries are choosing Malawi, our stadium as basically their home ground, isn't it? And then they're bringing in other people. So what it means, the airlines have benefited. Those in accommodation have benefited. Those that are actually selling food and other products have benefited. That is how we should also replicate that in the conferencing side. The issue is, all countries that have made it on the basis of the prowess of the thinking and the agility and the ability of their people to go beyond the dreaming. So in Malawi, if we stop this element of over-complaining and decide to take the route of starting doing things, will actually be on the right trajectory. Because remember this, a man is as he thinks. If you think negatively, you can never see anything else positive. There's never any positive that can come out of a negative.
Let us wrap up our special coverage of the Tourism Month by hearing from Minister of Tourism, Vera Kamtukule.
You may be aware we are in the tourism month, in which we commemorate from the 1st of September to the end of the month. We commemorate the progress that we have registered within the tourism sector, but also the challenges that we are facing within the tourism sector. And for me, it was very important that we come here because culture is one of the products that we sell. So we have several products. We have 5 key products. We have the lake, we have nature, we have culture, we have mice, we have several other products that we have. But culture for us is an embodiment of who we are as a people. And so it was very important for us that we should come here. This is a cultural village where we they showcase what it is to be Malawian, but also what it is to be a Chewa Malawian. So they were embodiment of culture. What that means for us is that we have been lamenting both as a ministry but also as a country to say we are diluting our culture. The authenticity of who we are as Malawians is being diluted. So much so that it is very difficult to make a determination in terms of this one is from this country and this one is a Malawian. They're all the same. Why? Because of technology, because of population and all of that. So for me, I'm saying progress is not really the problem here. Technology, innovation is not a problem here. But the problem comes in when you are losing your culture at the altar of innovation and technology. That is wrong. We need to blend these things, education and our culture, because at the end of the day, you cannot erase the fact that you are a Malawian. You cannot erase the fact that you are Lomwe or you are a Chewa or you are a Tonga. So we need to ensure that whatever it is that we do, however progressive we can be as a people, we need to maintain our culture. We need to preserve our culture. And so it was very, very exciting for us and very humbling for us to come here to meet these people that are working so hard, very, very hard, and they've done a fantastic job. And they've even now caught the eye of the world to preserve our culture. So we are very proud of them and we will do everything in our power to ensure that their voices are amplified and that people get to know this place and that they visit this place.
Let's now look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against other foreign currencies. Today's inspirational quote, we are saying, "Do not judge me by my success. Judge me by how many times I fell and got back up." That was by Nelson Mandela. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Business Digest. You've been with me, Justin Mkweu, from the entire crew of Business Digest, which decided to say this week we give you nothing but business and economic news stories that touch on tourism. We say thank you very much for being there, and be there again next week when we bring you yet another edition of Business Digest.